The first book of the Bible is Genesis. Genesis means beginning. The first chapter of Genesis tells the story of how God created the world. This story is important for Jewish and Christian believers. It tells us that God created the world in an orderly way. It tells us that God created everything. That is, this story is very old. It was written down over 2,500 years ago. People at that time did not have science to explain the world. They told stories to explain where everything came from. The Genesis creation story is a story about the power of God and the goodness of creation. The story starts with God existing before anything else. There was nothing but darkness and emptiness. The Bible says, "The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep." But God was there, and God was ready to create. The creation story in Genesis unfolds over 7 days. On the first day, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day and the darkness night. On the second day, God created the sky. He separated the waters above the sky from the waters below. On the third day, God created the land and the sea. He also created plants and trees. God saw that all of this was good. On the fourth day, God created the sun, moon, and stars. He set them in the sky to give light to the earth. They would also mark the days, the seasons, and the years. On the fifth day, God created the birds of the air and the fish of the sea. On the sixth day, God created all the animals that live on the land. Finally, God created human beings. He created them in his own image, male and female. God gave humans dominion over all the other creatures on earth. God finished his work of creation on the seventh day. He rested on the seventh day and blessed it. God called this day the Sabbath. The Sabbath is a day of rest and worship. It reminds us that God created the world and that it is good. The number 7 is important in the Bible. It is the number of completeness. The 7 days of creation show us that God created a complete and perfect world. It shows that he had a plan for his creation. Each day of creation shows God's power and purpose. He speaks and things happen. He brings order out of chaos. The story also shows God's love for his creation. He looks at everything he has made and says that it is good. The Genesis creation story is a powerful story. It has influenced art, literature, music, and law. It is a story that has been told and retold for thousands of years. The story has had a profound impact on Jewish and Christian thought. Many people believe that the Genesis creation story is a literal account of how the world was created.